I'm Daniel, and I have the passion for giving old things new purpose. Every week, I bring you along my thrift adventures to uncover the extraordinary in the ordinary. So if you love thrifting, venturing to estate sales, and getting inspired by thrifted home decorating, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe to join in on the adventures. Let's find gold together, one thrift store at a time. Welcome to Golden Finds. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Daniel here from Golden Finds, and we are going to hit up a few thrift stores today, and we are going to start off in the city of Garden Grove here in California. So if you love thrifting, going out to find some really cool things, then this is the channel for you. And I do welcome you to hit that subscribe button, which is absolutely free. For all of those of you returning to support me here, thank you so much as always. It means so much. And make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Also, make sure you're dropping down some comments down below. Let me know if there's something in the walkthrough that totally speaks to you, that you totally would pick up, and let me know what item that is. But yeah, we're going to only do 3 stores. I am doing like a few videos, but I'm breaking them up with fewer stores to concentrate on giving like more insight into what exactly each store sells. Mostly all of them carry the same thing, you know, housewares, clothing, furniture, etc. But some have more than others, and I kind of want to venture almost into every aisle and just share stuff that there's there. There's some things that I always kind of tend to avoid, like I don't always do clothing. I might throw it in here and there a bit, but you know, most of my focus is always housewares, home decor, furniture, etc. But I do kind of want to give it a more vast variety for you guys, so that way you can see everything that's in the store. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out what we find here in Garden Grove. So we're starting off here in Garden Grove in the Goodwill, and it's on Magnolia Street. Stumbled upon this party light figure. It is called the Angel of Light, which is a candle holder. Did you know that party light actually started as a candle business? It was originally founded by Mabel Baker, a New England school teacher who began selling bayberry candles that she crafted herself in the 1900s. So these candles grew so popular that she decided to turn her hobby into a business, and party light was created. Someone definitely needed these two. These were absolutely adorable. I love the fact that they had each a different colored ribbon. They were $4.99 each, and someone definitely needed these in their home. I'm pretty sure someone definitely picked these up. These are too cute and fun. A little bit of Disney magic. This is a Disney Parks item, and it is supposed to be Cinderella. So the mug is themed out. You can see the handle is themed out to her hair. And then we have the glass slipper with the beautiful shiny stones, although some of them were missing. So it definitely had a lot of wear. don't know why. It's like the thrift stores are mocking me basically with all of these Halloween goodies always popping left and right, especially pumpkins. Many of you know that pumpkins are one of my weaknesses. So I think the thrift store sometimes just knows. They know, what to throw at you so you can be like, buy, 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 bring it home. But we have to be no, 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 and be strong. This little cutie here is a candle holder, and it definitely reminded me of my wonderful friend Leslie from the Cozy Yellow Cottage, who sent Bella's goodies. I absolutely always think of you, Leslie. Anytime I run into anything squirrel related at the thrift store, I always think of you. These right here were gorgeous. I really loved the finish on this. I'm not quite sure if these were coasters. It looks like they might be coasters unless they were trinket dishes. But nonetheless, I really love that beautiful look. It was definitely giving me like an ocean theme. Thrifting can definitely be very overwhelming. As you can see, a lot of the Orange County Goodwill stores are always packed. All the shelves are always so full, things on top of each other. And I can understand it can definitely be a little bit, overwhelming to browse through everything because you feel like you might miss out on some things, or also because it's just overwhelming because there's just way too much to look at once. So just definitely always do your best in looking at everything that you can and just take your time. I love also coming across Department 56 pieces like this Heritage Village collection piece, which came with a set of 4 figures. And Department 56 is a manufacturer of holiday collectibles, and it was founded in 1976 as part of Bachman's, which is a garden and gift store in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it became popular basically because of its painted village sets. Now, I do run across a lot of them at the thrift store, and you always see so many amazing, intricate details in each of the ceramic pieces, whether they're like village pieces of people, trees, or buildings. They just carry so many different beautiful pieces. I do have a few that I have at home as well that I have found thrifting. And initially, the company's initial focus was on creating high quality hand painted ceramic collectibles like the village pieces. And in 1976, it actually introduced the Snow Village, which I actually have found several of them while thrifting in my years of going to the thrift stores like in Orange County Goodwills and various other states as well. I have found a lot also in Arizona when we've gone thrifting. So it's always so interesting learning about the items that you also come across while thrifting. also stumbled upon a lot of Norman Rockwell collectible plates. These usually come with a certificate of authenticity, but it looks like someone framed these. And a little bit of history of Norman Rockwell. He was an incredible illustrator who had a way of capturing everyday life with so much warmth and humor. His Saturday Evening Post covers, which I'm sure you guys have seen, they've also done them on ceramic mugs and other collectibles, were like everywhere. And they would depict scenes of small town life or family moments, and even deeper themes like democracy and civil rights. So his work still comes up in conversations today, whether it's about nostalgia or classic Americana, or just the way he made ordinary moments feel so special. And you can see it in a lot of his artwork that it just really captured the everyday life in different situations. This metal canister was really cute. It was themed out to a vintage look, originally from Home Goods, but it is missing the top lid. Gorgeous, isn't it? Oh my gosh, pieces like this make it all worthwhile. Now, I definitely don't have a place for it in my home, but it's definitely a great price. I think so. Finding this souvenir license plate from New York definitely brought back some memories of our first vacation there. It's been several years since we've gone to New York. We are definitely due for another trip. And this is just another clear example of how walking into a thrift store and looking through the aisles, you're going to find something that's going to trigger a memory, and I absolutely love it. Love this wooden sign for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. I think it might have been originally from Michael's. It's giving off that Michael's vibe, but I could be totally wrong. And it says familia is everything. Family is everything. And it was $3.99. Now, this next thrift item is definitely part of the We Look and Do Not Judge. It looks almost like Precious Moments, right? The little girls. So someone handmade this. It says, para personas que son muy especiales en mi corazón. So basically, it says that this was a gift for people who hold a special place in my heart. So I don't know why it was donated, but we're not going to judge. But again, someone definitely spent the time, the effort, the money to create that. Just like this right here, this was also handmade by someone. So I don't understand it, but again, we're not going to judge. If you're looking for some faux florals, you can definitely check the thrift store. Now, you probably won't always find sets of the same thing, but you might find some sets here and there that will work with what you're looking for. So I do recommend that you check them out first and see if you can find something that will work for you before you head to the big box retail stores, because you just never know what you're going to find. And I have found so many things like garlands and wreaths aplenty. So definitely check out your thrift store first, so that way you can save some money. You all know that I have been obsessed with finding these type of throws. This one's very cute. I love the theme. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a back to school theme. We see like the bird schoolhouse and then the apples and then this like the American flag. So I think it's giving either, well, I guess it could also be 4th of July. It was $6.99, but it also gave like back to school. This lamp was an epic find. Look at how cool this is. So the bottom base also lights up. How neat is that? I've never seen a lamp like this. It does have glass at the bottom. And then we have the top section. It was $9.99. Definitely a vintage find. Browsed at the clothes for a little bit, but didn't really see anything. This did catch my eye. It is a Disney Parks, like very thin material, like almost like a windbreaker. But it was just very cheaply made, you guys. The material was just not it, and it didn't fit me, of course. It seems like it was something that you would wear on a rainy day. Now again, this is absolutely one of my most favorite locations for wall art. This specific Goodwill store has so many different art pieces that you will definitely find something to bring home. I love that there's really big pieces. There's going to be several ones that you guys are going to see in the next few clips. There's some that are even so massive that I didn't capture, but they literally look like they were taken from some type of museum. They get so many different pictures here, artwork pieces, that you will find something. So definitely check out this Orange County Goodwill store if you are ever in the area. I did really fall in love with this glass piece right here, this stained glass. Oh my gosh, this mirror was gorgeous. I really wanted to bring it home, but I really did not have any place for it. But that stained glass definitely caught my attention. Speaking of bayberry candles from Party Light, I found this Avon Star Bright fragrance candle, and it's also made out of bayberry red. So that was super interesting. Then found these cute little ceramic booties. It's a little planter, $3.99. This is definitely a vintage piece, most likely like a party favor or a party decor item. Then I found these little village houses for Christmas. They were very interesting in the material that they were made out of. They were $2.99 each, and they had a few of them. So it was really interesting opening them up and seeing what was inside. I also recommend that you always check boxes. You just never know what's going to be inside of it. A lot of people do tend to overlook boxes because they just don't want to waste the time opening it or finding out what's inside. So definitely check boxes always. You just never know what someone may have put inside. Are you all ready for another history lesson? When I found these Williams Sonoma cookie cutters for Easter, I just knew that I wanted to learn a little bit more about Williams Sonoma. So basically, Williams Sonoma began as a small cookware shop in Sonoma, California in 1956. It was founded by Chuck Williams, who was inspired by his love of cooking and entertaining with friends to create a line. So in 1947, he moved to Sonoma, California to build homes as his career. And then in 1953, he visited France, where he fell in love with French kitchenware. So the first store opened in Sonoma, California in 1956, but then in 1958, he moved the store to San Francisco. And the store just became a huge destination for culinary figures like Julia Child. Like, are you serious? How cool is that, right? And, it expanded into other areas of the home, including furniture and decor later on in the years. Now, if you did not know, they are the same company that also owns Pottery Barn and West Elm. So I just think it's so interesting finding out about the history about some of the items that you're thrifting. You just never know what you're going to discover or learn. So definitely, if you're ever thrifting and you find something and you're like, what is this? Always do a Google search or do a Google Lens, which is an application which I use, which gives you information. Usually you can find like the item and bring up like a bunch of information on it, or just do a quick Google search. Sometimes it's always interesting to learn like the history behind an item or a brand for that matter as well. These glasses by Anchor Hawking were vintage. They have butterflies on them. They are beautiful. $2.99 each. They also had a smaller version of it that you guys will see in just a bit. But they were absolutely so fun. I absolutely love them. These were nice too. These were part of the threshold from a Target. And oh, I loved how they stack. Very, very nice glassware cups. Someone definitely donated all of their traditions ornaments. These were all still in their boxes. I don't think all of them were brand new. They were $3.99. They were from the 90s. And it was an impressive collection that has been donated here. Hopefully someone picks it up and treasures it. This Goodwill location is one of my favorites as well because they carry a lot of bulky furniture. They carry some very nice pieces here. I have found several pieces here that are vintage and you'll definitely find something here. So if you're in the area, definitely check this store out. Look at this one. It looks like something precious, like an encrusted jewel crown would go in there. It was like a display case. It was super cool. Saw a little bit of clothing here. Now I found a bunch of LL Bean clothing, and this is a traditionally fit plaid shirt. Really love the plaid shirts, you guys. I absolutely love them. I love the green ones especially, but someone's collection totally was donated. This is another one right here. I really fell in love with that color too. And then these are just a few other ones that I saw from different brands. Here's another LL Bean. So definitely dedicate some time to look at the clothing. If you love clothing, then definitely check what the thrift store has. you are going to find some cool pieces. Now, they do tend to be sometimes a little bit pricey, so you have to make sure you're just very careful on what you decide to buy, because it won't make sense if you just can buy a brand new one for that price. You know, if you go to a store and you're going to spend the same price, then you might as well just get it completely brand new. But sometimes you can find some really great pieces here at the thrift store, but just be conscious about that price tag. This ceramic picture caught my eye. Look at the details, that owl, and then everything else on the ceramic. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was a very well done piece, and I just love pieces like this. It's things like this that, really make me happy when thrifting, because it's what makes it unique. You're not going to find pieces like this anywhere else. A few Radom pieces, like this red cocoa pot, still brand new, $4.99. I think this was either part of a gift set or it might have been individually. I think it usually comes with a gift set with a mug. Then I found this pitcher that says drink, $12.99. That's definitely a very high price. I don't know why they're charging so much for that. And this one was $9.99, and it's a snack. And then there's this little birdhouse that says wish. That's a Christmas one. I am on the hunt for florals for spring, but I haven't had any luck at the thrift store. I may have to end up buying them brand new, like at Michael's. But still, it was nice to see some florals here, and sometimes I do have really good luck, especially with wreaths, but not really with florals for spring. My goodness, more pumpkins. This is definitely something from like Home Goods. I have a similar one. Yep, there it is. There's the Home Goods tag for $14.99. I have a similar pumpkin like this. I bought like I think one or two, and they were part of the Martha Stewart line, and they were like the same design but all in blue. One of my most favorite sections lately at the thrift store has been the wood section. I just really love looking at all of the different pieces. Like this right here was $5.99. That's actually a great price considering that it's a quite large piece. And I just really love looking at this whole aisle. You just find some of the most coolest things. A lot of the times you also run into vintage items. This looks a little bit older, this little wooden shelf with the hooks. This would be really nice. You could also maybe even hang some mugs there if you wanted to put it like next to your coffee maker, if you want to make your own coffee bar. And then this, I don't know what this was. I thought it was to hold your paper towels, but the stick is too skinny, so I don't think that's what it really is. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. I hope I don't get copyrighted. You guys, they had such cute and sweet plates of the film Annie. They were commemorative plates as well. They were missing their certificate of authenticity. If you're a collector, then you won't care about that. But if you want to resell them, they do tend to do better with a certificate of authenticity. But it was still super wonderful seeing them. And Annie is such a classic film. We are coming to the end of the walkthrough. I do hope that you enjoyed it, but make sure to stay tuned until the end to see a complete haul of what made it home. I hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough. As always, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Is there something that caught your eye that you don't see in the haul right now that I'm going to present to you? I wanted to give you guys a quick update. So my dad did have his procedure done and he already had his follow-up care visit with his surgeon, and they're still awaiting on the results of whether or not it's cancer, you know, that he has cancer again. He has been down this road and he had treatment done at UCI, but we're just waiting out to hear back on his results. But he is doing much better. He's been taking a week off of working and he's just been resting at home. And then he had his catheter removed out because he did have to have a catheter on, but he is definitely improving, but we're just waiting now to hear back on the results. So thank you to all of you as well for all the love you guys shared too about Bella and the news with her being clear. So we're absolutely thrilled about that. So let's go ahead and see what made it home in the haul. Again, I'm being very selective in what ultimately makes it back home with me. It has to make sense. I have to actually utilize it, or am I going to resell it? Or am I going to purpose it for something else? I am still trying to avoid holiday decor, but sometimes you just cannot help it because you find some really cool pieces. So the very first piece that I'm going to share is, of course, a holiday piece. Now I had to. This thing is awesome. So this actually, there was two of them that you saw in the walkthrough, but I only decided to buy one. I didn't feel like I needed both of them. And this was $4.99. And it's basically a skull that's made out of ceramic. I'm not entirely sure where this is from. I really love the detail on the spider right here. The teeth, everything just looks very, very detailed. And it even has like a finish, like if it was covered in dirt, if you can see all of those brown stain details all over the ceramic. So it definitely gives it that character of age. And there is a hole on the top. So I am going to be sticking a candle on top of this and kind of like having it out on display for Halloween. So this is going to be tucked away into the Halloween bin, but I'm going to be doing that, just putting a fake, you know, like LED taper candle and just having it on display like that. I think it will look super cool. So that was one of the things that I picked up that was holiday related. The other item that I picked up, now this was such a beautiful piece. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you will see a lot of my thrift finds before it makes it out here on YouTube. I do tend to post some of my finds in my Instagram that, you know, that I find instantly within that weekend that I thrift before they make it out into a video on YouTube. So if you're not following me there, I definitely recommend that you do. And a lot of you were so super thrilled when I found this. I posted it on Instagram that I found this picture. This is a Ray Dunn picture right here, and it says pour. This is absolutely a beautiful piece. This is an older piece, and it was only $4.99. Let me pull back the Goodwill tag. Now, I know that a lot of people are way past Ray Dunn and they have moved on, but I will always be a fanatic, and I especially love when I find pieces like this. Now, let me see if it actually is an older piece. Now, one way of knowing whether it is an older piece for a Ray Dunn is if, of course, it's an M stamp for magenta. And you usually will see, it will say M for magenta before it got added with Ray Dunn Artisan Collection by Magenta. So this one, I don't see any number. This is just getting really hard to rip off, you guys. It's like really glued on here, but it doesn't seem, I think it's definitely an older piece. There's also another indicator is that it won't have a number. There's usually like a number here. It's like some type of code that they use. So this is absolutely beautiful. I loved it. Love the dimples, which is something that I absolutely miss in more of her older designs. And I was just thrilled. And you know, people are getting rid of the Ray Dunn, which is just a plus for me because I find it at such great prices at the thrift store, and I find older pieces. The other item that I picked up, which I don't usually always pick up clothing, but I usually do if it's something awesome, something that I could see myself wearing. A lot of the times too, I find a lot of Disney park items, but I usually find all of that clothing in Savers. Not that much in Goodwill. But I did pick up the LL Bean, and this is a plaid sweatshirt or flannel, actually. And I just think it's gorgeous. I know it's a little bit difficult to see. The lighting in here is not the best. It's a very cold and rainy weekend here in Southern California. But this is just an absolutely beautiful plaid piece, and it looks definitely a little bit faded. I will say that. It looks like it's definitely been loved, but that's okay. It still has a lot of life left, and I only got it for $7.99. It is an extra large. I always fluctuate between large and extra large. I tend to get flannels like this in extra large just to make them feel more roomy and more comfortable. And I just love this. And someone definitely donated like all of their collection from LL Bean because as you saw in the walkthrough, there was so many of them. So clothing is definitely something that I want to strive for, to focus more on this year. Because you just find some really amazing deals. So I definitely recommend that you also add clothing to your thrift repertoire if you are a thrifter. It doesn't hurt to always check the aisle, you know, the clothing aisle. You might find some cool items. Here in Orange County, as many of you know, there's a lot of items that come from Target. So they also get a lot of clothing from Target, from t-shirts, shorts. For women, they have dresses, tops, shoes, bags, you name it. Almost everything that's clothing, whatever it is, accessories or clothing from Target, usually make their way to the Goodwill. Last item that I picked up was this big shadow box from Pottery Barn. This is so cool. First of all, you already know I love finding Pottery Barn. This was only $5.99. Here is the tag right there, and there is the Pottery Barn tag right there. Ignore my band-aid. I had a little boo-boo bringing in the trash cans. My finger got jammed on one of the lids. But anyway, that's life. But this is such a beautiful shadow box. I don't even think it was ever used. And the reason why that is because it still has its original information right there, the backing that says Pottery Barn, and it even still has the little pin cushions for the shadow box. So right here is for your picture, and it fits a 4x6 picture. And it's the hinge, shadow box, and frame. So the picture's meant for here, and then this is the portion for your shadow box, and it even comes with the pin cushions. So I absolutely fell in love with this, and I knew exactly right away what I wanted to use it for. Now, since I have always mentioned to you that I love sharing with you what I actually do with my thrift finds, I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly just that right now. So I'm going to flip the camera so you guys can get a different view. Okay, so we are going to actually go ahead and fill in the shadow box with a picture, and also, let me just make a little bit of room here. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually make this shadow box into a kind of like a memento to our wedding day. We actually just celebrated 7 years of being married on February 24th. We've been together for way longer than that, but we've been married for 7 years. And we are going to add the picture first. And shadow boxes are always super fun. You can basically fill them with anything, you know, a memorable trip, a special event in your life. There's just so many different things that you can, you know, fill a shadow box with. So we're gonna go ahead and take the backing, and this is definitely very good quality. You can feel it just in the quality that Pottery Barn is. And if you own Pottery Barn pieces, then you definitely know. I think this is probably, yes. I don't know about what you guys do for picture frames, but I always tend to use even the little paper frame that they use with the information. I basically just put it in back again to give it some, you know, more backing into the picture so it won't move. But this is the picture that I'm going to use. You guys have seen this if you've seen my home tours. This is just a smaller version of it. This is a 4x6, I believe. And that's us. That's the day, you know, we were married. That's my husband. That's me and all our bridesmaids. So I feel like this is going to move though, because it doesn't really have anything to hold it. So I'm just going to flip it over. I want to make sure that I do get the view that I want, since it's kind of hard to tell. So let's see. Let me just move it a little bit there. I'm trying to make sure to center it so that way it kind of gets everyone and no one's cut off. Okay, that should be good. Now, a lot of the times people do is they'll put like maybe a little bit of Scotch tape or something like that just to make sure that the picture doesn't move, because sometimes it can happen when you do that. So hopefully that won't happen to us. It won't move when I flip it up. I'm just going to put that again to hold it as a backing, then put this back into place, and then the other piece to close it off. Okay. So this is basically for, you know, just to have as a memento of our big day of our lives being married. It seems just like yesterday. And then, let's see, let's go ahead and flip it over. Hopefully it will not move. And there it is. This is such a beautiful shadow box. I really love it. I really love this picture. I love the canvas right here. It's big and wide. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this side, which is going to hold a precious memento from our wedding, which is going to be the rosary that we had that day. So this is our rosary. I did want to have so Joe and I are Catholic, but because the Catholic Church does not recognize, I don't want to get into the whole spiel of it, but you guys know what I mean. They don't recognize, so we're not able to get married at the Catholic Church, but we still did like our whole ceremony in Catholic faith, and we did find a priest that was able to still, ordain us, even though he himself is not Catholic, but we still did like the similar ceremony and everything else that we that you normally would do in a Catholic ceremony for getting married. So this was the rosary. It is very, very it needs to be very polished. It's very icky because of the oxygen in the air and stuff like that, so we need to clean that, but not for today. I'm just gonna go ahead and actually put this into the shadow box in a way that will make it look cute. So let me go ahead and prop it open. Okay, so this is so pretty. I wanted to do our knots. So there was a piece of this. It was a set that we bought, and it came with the wedding, the knot, I think it's called, that they put on me and they also put on Joe, and it's supposed to unite us. But it's too bulky and big and way too long. So I decided just to do our rosary instead. So we're going to go ahead and take this backing off. And if you happen to see, a lot of items that I use, that I decorate with, that you might be like, why doesn't he ever remove the backing or the tag from the Goodwill store? So a lot of the times I don't do that because to me, it's kind of just a reminder to myself of the bargain that I scored. And again, I mean, you can't even really see this. It's going to be facing the back. So it's not a big deal to me. But for me, it's more gratifying knowing that, I was able to find a Pottery Barn piece for this price. And, if we ever have children, then I'll make sure to also get them to be thrifters and get them all excited for all these cool bargains. So that was really cool. I'm telling you, I don't think this was ever used because it still has the original pins for the pin cushion. This is the part of the where we're gonna put our rosary. Let me just take out a few on here. And again, I'm telling you, shadow boxes are super fun to do. You can really create some really interesting and fun ones to always have back to remember for special moments. So I think I want to have it placed like this, where it's kind of straight. And then we could always curve, or do I want to put this in the middle and have this curve out? So there's always so many ways that you can do it. You can always play around with it to find, a style that you want to do your shadow box. I think I'm going to put it in the middle. It just gives it more of, attention, I feel, if it's in the middle. So I'm going to add a pin on here. These feel like they're pretty long. I wonder if these are the original pin cushions. Sometimes you just have to play around with it until it works with you. Okay, perfect. So that is all set in the middle. And I kind of really like how it's just wrapping around like this. Make it look very pretty. Oops. I totally just moved the camera, you guys. I'm sorry. So let me put another one right here to hold this into place, this part of the rosary. Okay. This part is going to be a little bit difficult because there's really nothing to grasp at it. So let me see how let me figure this out, you guys, really quick. Okay, you guys, after much pulling in and out of the pin cushions. I finally got it the way that I liked, and I opted for using the white ones or the silver tone ones because those definitely blended in more better with the actual like iridescent beads of the rosary. And this is how it's looking. And I was actually very happy with how it's holding well. It looks like it's naturally just, you know, it was placed like that. So this is going to be the tough part. Now having to flip it over upside down, and the cross, I hope, does not move. It's gonna be super difficult. Now just thinking about it, you guys. Okay. There has to be a way for it to stay without moving. Maybe if I put 2 pin cushions. I totally forgot that I was gonna have to flip it basically the other way to put it back in. Let me see if putting another pin cushion will let it hold. And you know, sometimes shadow boxes can definitely be a little bit tricky. Especially when it comes to adding like the pin cushions. Maybe this, I think this will definitely keep the rosary from moving by adding 2 pin cushions right there. And that way it doesn't fall off. Okay, I'm gonna put it back on here really quick so we can finally show you guys how it looks. Secure the backing. We don't want it falling off. And here we go. The big unveil. Oh no. I knew that was gonna happen. But I mean, maybe if I just flip it, there we go. That's exactly what we want. And now the picture moved. My goodness. See, you just have to be very careful with shadow boxes. I think I'm going to go back in there and place some Scotch tape just to hold it. You know, not too much because I don't want it to rip the backing of the frame. But basically, this is how it's looking. I'll give you guys a better view once I fix that right now. And that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much, as always, for your love, your support, you guys just coming back and being here for me. And I recently did a poll on the YouTube community page of my channel asking for your guys' opinion on the release date of my videos. A lot of you had, you know, wonderful comments that you don't mind what day I release my videos, that you will always watch them. So, but some people did definitely put some input. I think a lot of the input was more towards doing them like release on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I think I'm going to do basically either Wednesday. Wednesday seems to be a very strong point of a day to release. And then I'm going to either switch from always doing Friday to maybe Saturday. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I do want to thank you for those of you who took the poll on the community page of my channel here on YouTube. And I appreciate your feedback. I just really wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. It's not really a big deal for me as far as like what day I release. I'm pretty open in my schedule. I have a Monday through Friday job and I'm off at 1:30 in the afternoon. I start work at 5 a.m. and I'm off at 1:30. So that gives me plenty of time to prepare videos for the week or to release them even on that day. I do very limited editing, so it's not super hard, but I just kind of wanted to get feedback so that way I can cater the channel more to you guys. So thank you so much for those of you who did answer that poll. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, is there something that I totally missed from the walkthrough or that you would pick up? And if there's something from the haul that totally spoke out to you. As always, I hope you guys are out there searching for your very own treasures. Remember, your golden finds are out there as well. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye, everyone.